fact, when as far as the presidential race is concerned, and we are seeing Droupadi Murmu, in fact, who has filed for nomination, going to be filing for her nomination as well, and in that we are seeing the optics really saying it all with respect to the Prime Minister accompanying Droupadi Murmu, in fact, the NDA presidential candidate, who is about to go and file her nomination as well, along with Rajnath Singh and several other leadership of the BJP that can be seen on those visuals on your screens, viewers. Droupadi Murmu, in fact, on her way to file for her nomination. The first ever tribal minister, in fact, tribal leader that had been, is now going to be the president as well. And let me also bring in our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor on the broadcast as well. Abhishek, if you could speak to us over these visuals, because optics really, these images really very powerful ones, with the Prime Minister accompanying Droupadi Murmu to file for her nomination. Abhishek.
Well, yes, Priyanka, so led by Prime Minister, the top leadership of the BJP, the top leadership of the NDA, and in fact extended NDA. So we have seen immediately after the announcement of name of Droupadi Murmu as the presidential candidate for the National Democratic Alliance, and the BJP, we have seen BJD, the Biju Janata Dal of Odisha, coming openly in support of the name, as also of course the YSRCP of Jagan and some other smaller parties. In fact, in the pictures, if I'm getting it right, I can see Satish Mishra, and that means the BSP also has come in to support India's first woman tribal leader as the next president of India. Given the fact, Priyanka, that the NDA on its own had about 48.5% vote so far as the electoral college that elects president of India is concerned, with the addition of Jagan's YSRCP and the BJD, which between them, the two parties have about 4% vote share in the electoral college. The candidature of Droupadi Murmu gets sealed in the sense that she easily sails through with these two parties taking the NDA candidates' vote share tally past the halfway mark comfortably. In fact, if you look at it, last time in 2017, a larger NDA had managed to get 65% of the votes with Ramnath Kovind winning the election that time against Congress and UPA's Veera Kumar. And now we are seeing Droupadi Murmu pitted against Yashwant Sinha. Some would say even now there might be some desertions from the opposition camp, given the given the nature of the candidate that the NDA has offered, and the compulsive argument in favor of bringing in and giving to India a tribal woman as the president, coming in from the most backward parts of the country and from a very humble background. We saw pictures when she was announced as president's candidate. Same day she was seen as cleaning a Shiva temple in Mayurbhanj, where she was in her hometown. And in the pictures now, Prime Minister walking द्रौपदी मुर्मू
वो प्रस्तावक और अनुमोदक के तौर पर, देखिए, राष्ट्रपति कोई भी व्यक्ति जब राष्ट्रपति पद के लिए नामांकन दाखिल करने जाता है तो ये संवैधानिक है कि 50 जो लोग होते हैं वो प्रस्तावक के तौर पर वहाँ पे मौजूद होते हैं और 50 अनुमोदक की ज़रूरत होती है। तो आप इन तस्वीरों में देख सकते हैं वो तमाम अनुमोदक और प्रस्तावक यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं। और हम आपको जानकारी दे दें कि आज जब आप इन तस्वीरों को देख रहे हैं, इसमें 4 सेट में वो नामांकन दाखिल करेंगी द्रौपदी मुर्मू। 4 सेट में, जी हाँ, पहला सेट उसमें प्रस्तावक खुद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी होंगे और बीजेपी संसदीय बोर्ड के सदस्य होंगे। ये पहले सेट में। राजेश, अगर आप मेरी इस बात को कंप्लीट कर सकें कि 4 सेट में नामांकन दाखिल होने जा रहा है और कौन-कौन से लोग किस-किस सेट में होंगे?
मैंने पहले भी आपको असीम बताया था कि जो पहला सेट होगा उसमें प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी स्वयं प्रस्तावक होंगे और सबसे जो वरिष्ठ चेहरा के रूप में राजनाथ सिंह का नाम भी उसमें है। और इसके अलावा संसदीय बोर्ड के जो सदस्य हैं वो सभी सदस्य उसके प्रस्तावक बनाए गए हैं। लिहाजा राजनाथ सिंह और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी संसदीय बोर्ड के सदस्य भी हैं। दूसरे सेट में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा का नाम है, जबकि राज्यों के जो मुख्यमंत्री हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी शासित राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्री और उनके घटक दलों के मुख्यमंत्री को प्रस्तावक बनाया गया है। तीसरा सेट जो है उसमें हरियाणा और हिमाचल प्रदेश के विधायकों को जगह दी गई है। चौथे सेट में गुजरात के विधायक हैं और इन तमाम चारों सेट की अगर बात करें तो इसमें कहीं न कहीं ट्राइबल क्षेत्र से आने वाले जो विधायक हैं, सांसद हैं, उनको खास तौर पर
All right, in the pictures, nomination papers being filed for NDA candidate Droupadi Murmu for President of India with the returning officer, the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha. We are seeing these pictures coming in from Parliament, the entire top brass of the BJP and the NDA led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Rajnath Singh by her side. And apart from that, the entire parliamentary board of the BJP, then the chief ministers, 4 sets of papers being filed in on behalf of the candidate. And we have seen the NDA getting extended support from the Biju Janata Dal of Odisha, given the fact that that's the home state of Droupadi Murmu, who would be President of India, and of course, Jagan Mohan Reddy's YSRCP. And what we are seeing is the returning officer looking at the papers, checking in, signing wherever he needs to. Essentially, when the President of India has to be elected for the nomination, 50 individuals from the Electoral College have to propose, and similarly 50 numbers have to second it. And in these 4 sets, we are seeing, led by Prime Minister, the top brass of the BJP and the NDA becoming proposers and seconders, including chief ministers, including MLAs. All the chief ministers of the BJP ruled states are there. The top ministers are there. We can see Droupadi Murmu flanked on her right with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and to her left, senior leader Rajnath Singh. To Rajnath Singh's left is, of course, Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, and to Prime Minister's right, J.P. Nadda. And then in the pictures, you can see a Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi. You can see Anupriya Patel. You can see Sarvanan Sonowal, Nitin Gadkari, Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Amil Khattar, EPS from ADMK, and Piyush Goyal can be seen, and other leaders from the Northeast, Conrad Sangma, among others in the pictures, as also Pushkar Singh Dhami,